All right, go ahead.
Okay. So I have a current trade running on G card. So just like the way I taught the strategy, close below the lowest bearish candle. You can see it over here. This was a close. This was a clean retest. We tested and sold. And there was another close below and a retest. You can see that there's two entry points here, but the stop loss are the same. So this is I have this trade currently running, and I have a weekly target. I'm expecting my first TP to take out this factor on the weekly, and second at this factor, because I have a weekly setup here. I'm praying that the price come back and pick me up for my weekly setup. So this is actually a trade I'm trying to hold long enough, because I'm also waiting for card JPY to come pick me over here, because it gave me a setup today. So you can see that when you're trading similar pairs, it just give you that how do I call it? It just encourages you more to hold on to trades longer, because when you're seeing the opposite pair going to the opposite direction, or the direction that you want it to go in regards to the entry you have, it just gives you that more confidence on it. So yeah, CAD/CHEF, I had a loss here on CAD/CHEF, was expecting it to pick me here for a daily trade here. And if you see it on the daily, you see this was the lowest, was the close above. Pay me, or the thing not just pick me, just they go up now. So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for it to come around. Chef GPY has just been giving me entry and going up. Funny thing about this Chef GPY is that because I'm not seeing like a fractal, a future fractal, it's actually not giving me that strength or that confidence to hold the trade for long. And let me take you guys to my FX book. While doing a can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and this is my FX book, and this is particular on what pair? Okay, this EA. If I should go to my Chef JPY and open it for the month, you see that no, that's not it. 1, 2, 3, 2 pair, just Chef JPY. You see that it's one of the pair that's giving me one of my highest return for the month with no losses on it. But it's because I'm not even holding the trade long enough. That's why I'm even having 2.46% on it. I would have been having more compared to it. And if you can look over here, you can see that on card or Chef JPY. Sorry, I'm doing new share. You can see now on Chef JPY is that these are entries. This is one entry, right? And this another entry here. And this is the last one currently giving me an entry here. So you see that if I were holding this trade long enough, right, I'd have even be running more than that percentage. And you can see where the run started from, all the buys. Because on Chef JPY, I've been taking just only buys. Just only buys. And you see how the buys are holding up, right? So it's just like that. And you see the percentage of return. And actually this month, since I've hit 8% already, I'm already in 8% profit, targeting the 10% benchmark on this month profit for June, trading the pairs I'm trading right now. So while still counting my losses, okay, you can't see my FX book. So I said this month, if you see my FX book, you can see that okay, I'm already on 10%. Okay, no, this plus last month. I'm already on 8% profit for this month. Just this month alone. Oh, I have a running trade. So I'm running trade on GCAD, NZD-JPY, and NZD-USD. Right, this is where my equity is at the moment, 6.6%, and my balance rather, my equity is at 8% benchmark already. So you see that it's all about you being able to hold trade for longer. And I believe if I was holding some, there are some few trades I've gone out early because of some reasons known to the strategy. And if you were holding trades longer, I would have done above those percentage. So I've showed you GCAD. This is NZD-JPY currently in the trade. Trade hasn't moved because NZD-USD is still selling, although I have a buy here because I have a daily buy on NZD-USD over here. So waiting to see what the future may be. Then EUR-USD. Oh boy, this one paid me very well. Just came close to my entry and it didn't pick me. Oh, well, nothing paid me this one today. Just going to my MT4, I'm looking at this thing no pick me. Even EUR-USD very close to my entry, sank, but it didn't pick me at all. So AUD card still waiting, still came close to my entry, but it didn't pick. GBP-USD, we've had a lot of trade on GBP-USD, and if you can see where the trend has been coming all the way from these are entries, entry. All these entries doesn't have any stop loss with it though. There's no stop loss here, no stop loss here, just pure entries, no stop loss, and for the longest of time. And I just stopped trading JPY pairs just to see a change in trend because I don't know where did they go again. There is no factor upward for me to run into. So I'm waiting for either a correction or something. It's only NZD-USD I can see and CAD JPY that I can see something up. So I'm waiting for them to actually give me something to build my confidence in holding their trade. EUR-JPY is actually a pair I'm looking forward to. I'm waiting for it to retest my daily bias so that I can sell. Weekly is already in the sell, so I'm waiting for it to retest on this factor, but at least around this place, which is where my daily entry is, so I can continue the sell. So for now, my hands is crossed, not taking any buy, just complete sales. Then GBP-USD, same thing. Actually looks like it's sinking, but it's still in a looking forward for buys. So GBP-USD is actually not in my trade list now because the 4-hour trend is not corresponding to some of my rules. And CardChef, took a trade on CardChef. Can see the amount of trade that has been here. These were trades that I left early, and here I just took our previous high here, was heading for, yeah, this was my target. But because the weekly trend has always been sell, so here was my first TP and this is my second TP. So I've been around there waiting. You see how many entries it gave me here. This was the first, close above here, retest, went back up, give and close above here, retested here, and went back up. So took out my first TPs on these two trades, right? Then this one took me out for stop loss. So this week has not been that busy because most of my entries are not being triggered. You can see that I have an EA entry here, but I'm still expecting it to at least for a bit to pick me up. So I just have entry on different pairs, but still waiting for them to pick me up. This one still they pay me, never still recover. And eChef still there. So, but altogether, I'm positive because tracking my trades on FX book, I can see the pairs that has been giving me good returns. I can see the pairs that actually not too good for me, and not too good, because sometimes when I see that, okay, this pairs has been giving me the negative, I go to the chart and look at, okay, my strategy, my system within that pair, why is it giving me those stuff? Because before picking the pairs, I was skeptical in terms of, I was looking for pairs that have less manipulation in terms of having all those long candlesticks, because the less big 4-hour candle, the better for the strategy. So that's why I selected those 16 pairs. And over here, after tracking them, I see that, okay, this is where I could do better. This is where I could do better. And connecting it to my FX book has made me improve the strategy a lot. And you can see the statistics: profit factor 2.06, profitability already at 8% with the current trade running, 6.6% in balance, another 2% running. Then last month I only did 3.22%. Okay, yeah, 3.22% last month, and this month we're already on 6.6%. So although last month I started 1 week or 2 weeks to before the end of the month, so this month we're here. So because this week has not been that busy, not much for me to show you guys, just the entries that are just sitting down and waiting for price to pick us up. So I don't know if you have any question.
No question. The only question I want to ask is that the account you linked to my Facebook.
Yeah.
Are you trading? You know, you said you distributed
Yeah.
those pairs on each firm's account. So are you trading all the pairs on that account, and then
Yeah.
you are copying it?
I'm trading all the pairs on that account, right? Firstly, and secondly, when we get to like I said the strategy of 2 stages, right? When we get to stage 2, yes, you could see why this the pairs are there, because when we get to stage 2, you could see that we're taking way less entries. So it's either when you're taking 4 of these pairs, you want to reduce your you want to increase your percentage risk, because you're now taking less entries. But even with the less entries, the win ratio increases. It increases substantially, a lot.
All right, so I think it's still the same issue of trade-offs. Whenever you're trading, you choose whether you want to trade fewer pairs, risk more, or trade more pairs, risk less.
Yeah.
And I think that's just basically the trade-off we are looking at. All right, so let me share my screen. So just discuss the trades.
Hello, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, please. I want to ask Mr. Dane, how can I connect my Forex book with my trading account like that?
You can't actually connect my Forex fund. I'm actually using HFM for my demo. Let me switch it to there. I'm using HFM.
If they're using
my demo
FTM,
table.
FTM is there. They can link FTM.
FTM is there, but MFF is not there.
I would encourage you, if you want to link accounts, if you are a big boy, like all them Chinedu, Anthony, George, and all of them, and you have maybe say a $1K, $1,000 personal account, or 2,000 or 5,000 personal accounts that you have that can be your own control accounts that you use to copy into your MFF and FTMO accounts and all those things, or you get a demo account and use it to copy into your MFF and FTMO accounts. Now, the reason why I say this is this. What if something happens and for one reason or the other, you violate the rules of that particular account? It basically means that you've condemned that account. We can no longer see your performance on FX, my FX book or FX Blue or whichever one you are using. So you want something that is constant. It's not based on all these prop firm rules and all those things that it can disappear tomorrow and all that. So you want that data to always be there. All right. So any other questions? So to connect it to my FX book.
Hello, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, good day. Please, I want to ask, which trade copy are you using?
I've mentioned it again.
Sorry, I wasn't around. I just
Okay.
haven't been long.
I said I'm using FX Blue trade copier. When I share my screen, I'll show that. I thought let me see. Let me just forward. I wanted to forward it. I went to Telegram, search in the news message, and got sidetracked. Let me forward it straight up. VPS copy and installation. All right, I forwarded it to the platform.
Okay.
So see how to install all those things, including even a VPS and stuff. So let me share my screen. All right, so this is basically how it is. This my FX book personal trade copier. Just the way it basically looks. So it enables you to play around with so many things and stuff. So anyway, back to what we are doing today. Looking at the trade setups for this week. So last week, if we go to the daily, we can see that dollar turned bullish here. So once it is bullish, every push down is an opportunity to buy. Every push to the downside is an opportunity to buy. So we go to H4. We go to, okay, I was wondering what's happening there. All right, so we are H4 here. And you can see this was the fractal that was created on Monday. Tuesday, they took it out. So we'll go to 30 minutes. All right, so this is what's basically happened on Tuesday, or this is basically what happened, because some people are wondering, so far this month, I've made close to this almost 17%, right? From beginning of June to now. So if you look at my trades for the week, where's the first EU? Okay, so I showed you guys something that what I normally use for my entries, my own personal entries on USD. I actually don't use, I used this particular one to frame everything, but not my entry. So I don't do my entry based on this. So my entry on 30 minutes, actually, I'm just giving you people now information. This one, you could use it, but I just found that one to be more accurate. At least from the back test I did last year, I was using that and I just enjoyed it. So I just stuck with it. Uh, yeah, so this was the account that I lost this year that I mentioned that I lost in May. It was this particular account. So may no be like say when I did lose, say, prof, you just winning. No, we self with the chop on sometimes.
Lost the day.
Yeah, lost the deal.
That's right.
So the only thing is, at least this year I've passed 5 now.
No.
I've passed 5, 4 of mine, 1 for someone else, and I currently have one I started this week that is already close to 6% on MFF. So I think all things considered, I don't try.
Don't try.
Overall account don't enter 1 million.
Yeah,
I say overall account don't enter 1 million.
1 million K.
Now the goal be that.
I've been at the goal, at the
The
goal.
goal. You go withdraw that kind 100K. Wah. Eh?
Big account sef now, wahala. Seriously.
Why you go be wahala? You dey fear
I
money.
don't understand this guy.
No, no, I don't mean that way. When you are trading big account, I mean the way they will fill your order and everything. More.
See, that is why from day one, I decided to be trading EU, GU, and EG. By 1 million, no do anything for markets on those pairs. No do anything. I think I will forward that message from Telegram. You will see that this week, one of the reasons why there has been a lot of up and down with EU, there were a lot of institutional players that were just coming in with billions from Tuesday. Tuesday alone, we had bank orders in the realm of 1 billion and above. We are up to like 5. So when you have those kind of orders, the market will be one kind. Wait,
No wonder it's not pushing down like GU.
that's one of these things, but I'm still expecting it to.
It's going to fall definitely.
Me since me go my weekly entry. I'm right, I'm go.
Oh.
Then I prof, you don't get other plans. So I don't wanna let me get money for this market.
Well, anyway, I think I'll just send a screenshot. I don't know this thing. I've not used it for a while. So derive usually once you've not used the once you've not used their app for a while, they just basically jack off the accounts. So, but basically we had a first entry here. Now, by the time on that, even if you are using this one, you would have only taken one loss on EU. So we got this. All right, this was this day. Took out the fractal loads that were created here, give you a close above right here, 12 o'clock. You'd have gone to EU. All right, so you see that my own entry, this was my TP1. And that was because this was my entry was somewhere around here. At the close of this particular candle was where if you use that USD basket, that's when we had this setup 1130, but you would have gotten your own setup 12 using this normal dollar index. So you get in and straight to your stop loss, no problem. Oh voila, we all take stop loss. If we go to GU, this was it. So they just give you your trade. All right. And then you entered. They didn't pick you. All right. So they broke down here. You entered, they didn't pick you, and then picked you, and then started driving seriously against you. So this is where you must have holding power. Generally, me, if I get setups on Tuesdays, or even Wednesdays, I usually expect they will play around a little bit. If it is Thursday, because they must have moved in massively before the week will end. I know that Thursday setups, two things are involved. Either they hit my SF very quickly or it flies to my TP very quickly. But
Like
Tuesdays,
seriously.
So
Tuesdays,
now you hit my stop loss. I don't see him.
Tuesdays are usually it can take a while to move sometimes. So they basically give you that, and then boom, TP1, then straight to your final TP. I actually had a trade from, if you remember, it's 2 weeks ago or so, where we had this sell-off. Or was it this one? Oh, this was the interest rate decision. This trade here. It also came to hit its own final TP as well this week. All right. So that was that for that particular GU. So on E, you would have gotten a second setup, which was this. All right. So close below, you get in, you can still see the marks there. All right. So you get in TP1, and then in the night, you basically drove to TP2. So that's why I said it's a good way to wake up. So you wake up to see your profit targets smashed and all that. So it's just basically the same thing, rinse and repeats. You just look for what the order flow is on the daily, wait for pullback defined on your H4 as a fractal low formed within the week, taking out, you ride it to the upside. I don't use TDIN. There's no TDIN on my charts. There are my weekly setups using, in fact, the two setups I use on the dollar, both the swing shots and the order flow, both told me to buy. So it was a very, very simple decision. So come to H4. For those, if you've not watched the video on fractal order flow, you probably need to go and watch that to understand this. But basically, it's price close above this fractal high here, and we're basically looking for opportunities to buy until price breaks below a fractal. So for those who want dollar to start selling, you have to find a way to force price to come and break below this guy. And then I will join you in selling. Until then, any push down they do next week, I'll be looking for opportunity to buy. And some other people too will be looking for opportunity to sell somewhere. Somebody will win. That one no concern me. My own is to be trading my own strategy. So on EG, we've been in a downtrend for a while. We've been in a bearish trend for a while. I mentioned last week that I was expecting them to give me compensation around Wednesday of this week, which was exactly what they did on EG. So they created this fractal high. They created this fractal high on Monday, came to Tuesday, and I've mentioned that apart from dollar pairs, every other pair I trade on 1 hour, take my entries on 1 hour. So this was Monday. So they gave this entry on Tuesday, but this particular entry, and that is why I have this MTF ATR here. Whenever I want to take a trade, I look at my stop loss. So from here to here, it's about 17 pips. By the time I add 50% of this block, which is where my SL will be, 17 times 1.5. So if we look at that 17 times 1.5 will give me 25.5 pips as my SL. Now, but by the time I look at what that's it here, this indicator window 2, by the time I look at what the weekly range is, it is 92. So once my SL times 4, because that's basically what is going to be from my SL to my final my TP3 is basically 4R. So once my SL times 4 is more than my weekly range, then that is too big for me. I don't take it. So you will not see any markings here with me taking this trade. So I leave that particular trade. So they came on Wednesday and then gave me proper setup. So close below. In fact, this trade, I was only able to, even on the copiers, it slipped. It could not take this trade immediately. It had to set a limit on one of the accounts. It was picked up on another account. It wasn't picked up. In fact, this was only picked up on one of my live accounts. Only picked up on one of my live accounts. It wasn't picked up on any other accounts. All the two challenge, one challenge account and one live account that I had this EG that I tried to place the trade on, it didn't pick. It slipped, placed a limit and price. I was hoping when I saw this pushback, I said, after they had Kukuma pushed back to this point, they should have just come and picked me in, but it didn't actually trigger at this point and then swept back down to hit TP1 and it's still in play. So that's, you can see that it's still running EG. That's basically the, I think it was this particular account. That was the only account that, let me see, before anything happened.